Let's start with a wild thought. What if the world you see, the one right in front of your eyes, wasn't the same as the one the person standing right next to you sees? We're standing on the edge of a technological leap that's not just going to change our screens, it's going to fundamentally rewrite reality itself. And it could create a world where a shared experience, well, it might not exist anymore.
Just imagine walking down the street and a sign instantly translates into your native language, or a plain brick wall suddenly shows an ad for your favorite coffee shop as you walk by. Imagine your room changing color to perfectly match your mood. This isn't some far-off sci-fi dream. Nope. This is the very next step in our digital lives, where the physical world around us is rendered in real time, and it's rendered exclusively for you.
You know, for the longest time, the goal in tech was simple. Get more data and get it faster. We absolutely mastered the information age. But now we're just drowning in it. The next great leap isn't about consuming more information, it's about experiencing it. We are making a huge shift from a world of information overload to one of interactive, personal immersion.
So yeah, this marks the dawn of what we're calling the experience age. It's a fundamental pivot away from data and towards interaction. The value isn't in the raw information anymore. It's in how you can interact with it. We're moving away from the screen and into the world, where the environment itself becomes the new interface.
Think about the last decade, right? We've been heads down, passively scrolling through endless digital feeds on these flat screens. That, right there, is the information age in a nutshell. But the experience age, it pulls our heads up. It turns us from passive consumers into active participants in a new spatial era, where digital information is literally woven into the fabric of the physical world around us.
Okay, so how on earth is any of this even possible? Well, the engine driving this entire revolution has a name: neural rendering. This is the technology that's going to allow an AI to basically repaint our world in real time, transforming the static spaces we live in into dynamic, responsive environments. So, what is neural rendering? Basically, it lets an AI create these incredibly realistic 3D scenes from just a handful of pictures. This is a massive leap from the old way of doing things, where you had to build every single object from scratch. That process was slow, it was painstaking, and it was incredibly expensive. And the evolution here has been just staggering. We had early methods like Neural Radiance Fields, or NeRFs, and they were groundbreaking for sure, but they were way too slow for any kind of real-time use. The real breakthrough, the true game changer, is something called 3D Gaussian splatting, or 3DGS. I mean, just look at the chart. Across every single metric, speed, real-time updates, motion, it's a quantum leap forward. This number right here is the key to everything, over 150 frames per second. Now, to put that into perspective, most of your high-end video games are trying to hit 60. So this isn't just fast, it's faster than the human eye can even perceive. It allows for a digital overlay on reality that feels completely, totally, perfectly real.
At that speed, an AI can effectively put a new digital skin on your surroundings. So imagine you're looking at a plain wooden chair. In the time it takes you to blink, it's suddenly rendered as an ornate golden throne. Every single object in your field of view becomes a personalized, editable canvas.
And this is where the technology leads us, to its ultimate and maybe its most unsettling application: the personal bubble. This is the point where the physical world stops being a shared, objective space. Instead, it shatters into billions of unique, subjective realities, each one tailored to a single individual.
So how does this bubble work? It's all based on a continuous feedback loop. Biometric sensors in your glasses or headset track everything: your gaze, your pupil dilation, maybe even your emotional state. An AI then interprets all that data to understand what you need, and it instantly re-renders your surroundings with that new digital skin. Then it adapts in real time to your reactions. Your world is literally responding to you. And this isn't like the holodeck where you go into a special room. This is more like the Matrix, an invisible layer rewriting the world you already live in.
And this creates a fundamental conflict. We're leaving behind what we know as objective reality, one shared physical space, a common frame of reference for everyone. And we're entering generative reality. This is a place where two people can be standing in the exact same spot, but inhabit entirely different worlds. One sees a sterile warehouse, the other sees a lush, vibrant jungle.
Now, you might be thinking this is all just some far-off tech experiment, but make no mistake. There is a massive economic engine driving us toward this future. We're talking about $1 trillion incentive to create these fragmented realities.
By the year 2030, the AR and VR market is projected to contribute $1.5 trillion to the global economy. That kind of immense financial incentive is exactly what's pushing generative reality from just a niche concept into a mainstream inevitability for pretty much every major industry you can think of. Every single aspect of commerce is going to be reshaped. Those physical billboards you see, they'll be replaced by generative ads rendered onto any blank surface and tailored just for you. Product displays in stores become interactive 3D prototypes you can check out in your own living room. Reality itself becomes a curated, commercialized, and even filterable experience.
But as we race toward this personalized future, we have to stop and ask, what's the societal cost here? What happens when the very technology that was designed to connect us instead places us in completely separate, unshareable worlds?
This quote, I think, captures the core danger perfectly. When reality becomes fully customizable, our filter bubbles escape our social media feeds and become the very world we inhabit. And when that happens, the shared ground that holds society together just erodes.
This creates a profound reality divide. We risk something called epistemic isolation, where our physical world turns into an AI-powered echo chamber, shielding us from any challenging ideas. That in turn breeds affective polarization, where any disagreement feels like a personal attack. And ultimately, the very concept of a shared truth just dissolves, leaving us with absolutely no common ground to solve our biggest problem.
The technology is almost here. It promises a world that is more personal and more interactive than we've ever imagined. But it forces us to confront an urgent question. If we each live in our own algorithmically generated reality, what happens to the real one we're all supposed to share?